Well, week 12 is in the books, and now we move on to week 13. It's time for another edition of Ben's Quick Picks. Let's go. Hey everybody, this is me, Ben Cornett, and welcome back to Ben's Quick Picks. This is the week 13 edition, and if you're new to this channel, what this is what my show is I go over every game for every week. We just do straight up picks. We don't do, over unders or money lines or anything like that. We just go over every game straight up. And if you're a new subscriber, please like and share this video. Please comment as well. So last week, week 12, quite a week. But let me show you how I did in week 12 and show you overall my record for the 2023 season thus far. Check it out. Alrighty then. That is how I did this week. Not bad. I thought I'd do a little better, but it is what it is. I'll take 11-5, and I will take 121-59 on the season. So, with that being said, before I discuss, my picks for the weeks, I just want to show you who I picked, for each game this week. Now, the check marks on the side of the teams is the teams I'm picking to win this week. So, here it is. Check out my picks for week 13. Alrighty then, those are my picks, so let's go over them and talk about it. So, kicking off week 13, Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime Video. The Seattle Seahawks visit the Dallas Cowboys. Now, both teams last week played on Thursday night, so you kind of figured these would be two of the 6 teams that would play the following Thursday. Makes sense. Seattle, tough loss to the 49ers in a divisional game. Meanwhile, Dallas annihilated the Commanders on Thanksgiving in their divisional matchup. This week, it's a NFC matchup in Dallas, Seattle at Dallas. Seattle's been struggling lately. Their offense hasn't been very good. Their defense has been suspect. Meanwhile, Dallas, the trend for them all year has been they beat the very middle to bottom teams in the league. They've lost some tough games to the best teams in the NFL. That would be Philly and San Francisco. In this game, it should be an interesting game. On paper, it looks like a good matchup. Dallas, their defense has been playing really well. They've held opponents under 20 points the last couple games. And Seattle, meanwhile, they haven't been able to score, over 20 points in most of the games this season. It is on the road. It is in Dallas. I'm going to go with the Cowboys here at home. I think this will be a good game, but I think Dallas pulls away in the second half. So give me Dallas 27, Seattle 17. All right, on to the Sunday games. The Detroit Lions visit the New Orleans Saints. Detroit, tough loss to Green Bay. I didn't expect that, but I probably should have followed recent history that Detroit does not do good on Thanksgiving, but I thought they could beat the Packers. I thought they could change that. Meanwhile, New Orleans, again, I just don't think they're a very good team. They lost to Atlanta last week. Derek Carr, it's too inconsistent. They still got injuries. So in this game, I'm going to go with Detroit on the road. I think they're the better team. They'll want to bounce back from that tough loss to Green Bay, and the fact that they had a little bit of extra rest playing on Thanksgiving. New Orleans played on Sunday. So give me the Lions over the Saints. I'm going to go 24-13. All right, the LA Chargers go up to New England. The Chargers, they always lose those close games. A lot of inconsistency. We all know Brandon Staley should probably hit the bricks. He's really regressed Justin Herbert. New England, I don't know why I picked them last week, but they're awful. This game's going to be, unless you're a Chargers or Patriots fan, who wants to watch this game? I don't. No offense, but I'm just saying. Chargers should win this game. I'm going to pick the Chargers. I'm going to go 24-10. Chargers should win this game. Patriots are just not that good. All right. Probably one of the better games of the week here. We all know the huge game that's this weekend, but this is a sneaky good game. The Denver Broncos at the Houston Texans. Denver has just been on a roll lately. Their defense is playing so much better. Russell Wilson is finally getting it together with his offense. Houston, meanwhile, very tough loss last week to Jacksonville at home. Division games are always tough. This should be a very good matchup. Houston's defense is pretty darn good against Denver's defense. Usually I would go with the hot hand here with Denver. And why not? They're playing so much better. They got a lot of confidence. But I think Houston's better offensively. And, last week, listen, division games are tough. Jacksonville's a good team, okay? So Houston hung in with them. They beat them earlier in the year, too. So I think Houston has the better offense, and I actually think they have the better quarterback right now. C.J. Stroud, he's a rookie over Russell Wilson. So I'm actually going to go Houston here. I think they win this game 26-23 over the Broncos. Should be a fun game to watch. All right. The Arizona Cardinals visit the Pittsburgh Steelers. Cardinals, another loss last week. They got annihilated by the Rams. Steelers got a big win in Cincinnati. Their first game without their former OC. They didn't score much, but the offense looked a lot better. Now, granted, Joe Burrow did not play for the Bengals. He's not playing for the rest of the year. But, the Steelers are still a good team. Believe it or not, they are a good team. Their record shows it. Whatever it is that they're doing, it's working. And that's going to continue because they're going to beat Arizona. Pittsburgh, better team, better roster, better defense. Kyler, I think he's going to have a tough time in this game. So give me the Steelers over the Cardinals 20-10. Steelers don't score a lot of points, but their defense doesn't allow a lot of points either. So Steelers over the Cardinals 20-10. All right. The Indianapolis Colts go down to Tennessee to play Titans, AFC South divisional matchup. We just found out that Jonathan Taylor, their running back for the Colts, had thumb surgery, so he's going to be out. So Zach Moss can get the full load of the carries for the Colts. Titans, they win at home. They can't win outside of Nashville. It is in Tennessee. They played a good game earlier in the year. Colts pulled that one out. This is a tough one to pick because, my Bucks last week should have beaten the Colts. I think we're the better team, but we didn't play like it. Gardner Minshew against Will Levis. I'm giving the advantage to Will Levis. And Tennessee does win at home. So I'm actually going to go Titans here in this game. It's going to be kind of ugly, but I do like the Titans. Give me 21-17 over the Colts. All right, the Atlanta Falcons go up to New Jersey, actually, technically. I know it's New York, but it's New Jersey. They played the New York Jets Sunday. Again, like the Saints, the Falcons, I'm not a big believer in them. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Bucks fan or our division, but, I still don't believe in Desmond Ridder, and the Jets, meanwhile, all they have is defense and Tim Boyle at quarterback. I really, really want to pick the Jets here because this could be a trap game for the Falcons. But I just don't think the Jets are going to score enough points. and Atlanta is going to do enough to win. It's going to be an ugly game. I'm going to go Falcons over the Jets 15-12. Yeah, it's going to be ugly, but Falcons pull it out. And finally, the rest of the morning games, the last one of the morning, Dolphins at the Commanders. Commanders, tough year. They've just been struggling. Can't get their stuff together. They got killed by Dallas last week on Thanksgiving. Miami, they're playing pretty well right now. Hard to beat them. Look, the Commanders' defense isn't very good. Their offensive line can't protect Sam Howell. Meanwhile, the Dolphins got a ton of weapons to their offense. They're kind of like Dallas. They beat up on very mediocre to bottom-feeding teams. Can't beat the good teams. Commanders are a bottom-tier team. So, with that being said, I like Miami over the Commanders. I'm going to go 28-14 over the Commanders. All right, the afternoon games. The Carolina Panthers take on my Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Panthers made big news on this past week. Frank Reich, their head coach, was let go after a 1-10 start. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers, I don't know. I mean, we're 4-7, and we're still very much alive in this rotten division. I'm going to be really honest here. I'm nervous about this game because teams that usually fire their head coaches the following week play pretty well. Look at the Raiders. They fired McDaniels. A week later, guess what? They annihilated the Giants. Then they beat the Jets. I'm going to go Buccaneers still. I'm probably going to regret this, but we're a better team. We got more talent. Okay? The Panthers, with Bryce Young, he's not developing very well right now. They don't really have any weapons on their team. Their defense is just below average at best. Buccaneers, come on. You got to get it together. I'm hoping this is a get-right game. I'm going to go Bucs here. I think it's going to be pretty ugly as well. But I got them winning 23-17. Come on, Bucs. Don't let me down here, please. All right. The Cleveland Browns continue to be on the road. They go down to LA and play the Rams, who were red hot lately. The Rams getting really healthy at the right time. Kyron Williams came back, ran the ball very well. He was the star of that game. He had a couple touchdowns. Now, Cooper Kupp is probably going to be out for the Rams this week. Meanwhile, the Browns, their defense, still pretty good, but their offense, we saw last week, Dorian Thompson-Robinson ended up leaving the game with the head injury. He's currently in concussion protocol. So they got Joe Flacco taking first team reps. Look, I like Cleveland's defense. Myles Garrett's a beast. Denzel Ward, those guys, very good defensive players on that team. I just worry about their offense. Who's the quarterback? Is it Flacco? Is it PJ Walker? I mean, what? Yes, defense travels, but I'm going to go Rams here in this game. I just think offensive, now they're not nearly as good defensively as the Browns, but their offense is better. They know who their quarterback is, and they got the weapons. And, they'll be minus Cooper Kupp, but they got Puka, they got, Kyron Williams. That's going to be enough for me. I'm going Rams. I'm going to go 20-17. The defense for the Browns will keep them in it, but the Rams will eventually get it in the end. Rams over the Browns, 20-17. All right, the game of the week. It's been marked on many people's calendars, even if you're not a fan of these two teams. 49ers at the Eagles, two of the best teams in the NFC. Niners are starting to get back on a roll lately. Philly, they just keep finding ways to win. That great overtime win against Buffalo Sunday, great game. this is the rematch, the NFC Championship game from last year. Now we know last year Brock Purdy did not play. He had that elbow injury. So I think that really hurt the Niners in that game. The Eagles, like Jalen Hurts, those boys, they are just on another level. And they still got the brotherly shove, the tush push, whatever you want to call it. You know what? I'm actually going to go the road team this time. I'm taking the Niners over the Eagles. Yeah, I am. Brock Purdy is going to be playing. He's got to play that defense. But the Niners, they didn't forget about last year. And I think they're going to be ready to play. Philly, they're very good. Don't get me wrong. But they've just been winning by the closest of margins. They're playing with fire right now. And the Niners, they're getting healthier. They're getting better. Now, I know Tafonga's out for the year. Their safety for the Niners. But everyone else is pretty healthy. I'm going Niners over the Eagles. This should be a very good game. I'm going to go San Fran 30, Philly 27. That is my pick for the week, the Niners over the Eagles. All right, the Sunday night game, the Kansas City Chiefs visit the Green Bay Packers. This is an interesting game. A couple weeks ago, you would have said, maybe you would have flexed this game. But KC, they're playing good. They got back on track, beating the Raiders last week after that tough Monday night loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. Green Bay, big win over Detroit on Thanksgiving. They've won 2 in a row. Jordan Love's starting to play better, although I'm still in wait-and-see mode with this guy. But in this game, it's going to be close for a little bit. Packers will play hard. It's Sunday night, national televised game. But the Chiefs are a better team, and Green Bay is just not at that level. I'm going to go KC here. I think it's going to be a little closer than people think, but I like Kansas City to win 23-16 over the Packers. Should be a very interesting game, but KC is the better team, and Green Bay is just not as good. All right. Finally, the Monday night game, the Cincinnati Bengals go down to Jacksonville, play the Jaguars. Now, we all know Joe Burrow out for the year. Jake Browning's leading the way. Tough loss last week against the Steelers. Jaguars had a huge win down in Houston. They're 8-3. And, I was really looking forward to the Burrow-Lawrence matchup. 2 great quarterbacks. But we only got Trevor Lawrence, and Jake Browning's the quarterback for the Bengals. I think that's going to be the difference. It's going to be tough sledding for Cincinnati. Their defense will try and keep them in it, but in the end, I got to go Jaguars here. They're just better offensively, and they got their star quarterback. So give me the Jaguars over the Bengals, 27-20 over Cincinnati. All right, so those are my picks, my reasons for picking these teams this week. So one more time, I'm going to show you my picks for the week. Tell me what you think in the comments section. You agree, disagree, let me know. So one more time, here are my week 13 picks. And there you have it, my week 13 picks. So with that being said, guys, ladies, hope you enjoy your week 13, whoever your teams are. Good luck this week. We'll see if my team can pull it out, and we'll see how good I do this weekend. And we will be back here this time next week to see how I did with my week 13 picks, and we'll discuss week 14. So everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you next time on Ben's Quick Picks. Take care.